Hello everybody, this is Tip Top MTG here today with another Ikoria Lair of Behemoth spoiler video. So today I'm going to be covering all of the spoilers that were spoiled today so that you can stay up to date with everything Ikoria. Let's jump right into this. Starting off, we have Garrison Cat. It's a 1-cost white creature cat, and when it dies, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So generally these effects are found and are used in standard actually in like white weenie decks where you're going to try to flood the board with a lot of white creatures. I think that it may end up seeing play, but right now the mono white deck seems to be more based around life gain with things like a Johnny's Pride Mate, although this works really well with the white and black companion, so it'd be interesting to see if those kind of go together. We have Spontaneous Flight. It's a 3-cost instant, and it says target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Put a flying counter on it, so it's a boost, which +2/+2 you can get for 1 in white, and then you're paying 2, which in white you can pay 2 to make something fly, and you're combining that, so you're paying 3, and it's okay. The fact that it's not an enchantment that can be destroyed, similar to like the Wings enchantment, is good, but the fact that you don't draw a card is also pretty bad. So it's interesting. It also allows you to have the aspect of, oh, here's a combat trick. You have a flyer, you think it's safe to attack, +2/+2 flying. Now you can block the flyer. So it definitely has value. It's definitely going to be useful and limited. I don't know how much standard play it's going to see. Next we have Helico Glider. It's a 3-cost creature, Nightmare Squirrel. Squirrel, yay. It's a 2/2, and it says when it enters the battlefield, your choice of a flying counter or a first strike counter. So currently we have 2/2s for 2 with First Strike and Mentor, so if you're having it enter with a First Strike counter, that's pretty rough. We also have 2/2s for 2s that fly, so, I mean, the adaptability is kind of cool here, but is it worth it? I don't think so. Overall, I think that it's kind of just overpriced for what it actually is. Next, we have Checkpoint Officer. It's a 2-cost creature, human soldier. You can pay 2, tap it, and tap target creature. This is a almost strictly worse version of a card we have currently in standard, Giant Killer, which allows you to both murder a creature, and then when you finally get to, you can pay 1 to pay 2, or like you can pay 1 for a creature that basically is this exact creature. So overall, pretty bad. Next we have Fight as 1. It's a 1-cost instant. It says choose 1 or both. Target human you control gets +1/+1 and gains indestructible, and target non-human you control gets +1/+1 and gains indestructible. So if you look at this, basically, it could say +2/+2 and gains indestructible, and for 1, that looks pretty nice. Like, being able to pay 1 and give something indestructible is quite powerful, so pretty good. Then we have Majestic Oracorn. It's a 5-cost creature unicorn with its mutate for 4, so it costs 1 less, and vigilance, and whenever this creature mutates, you gain 4 life. So you can either have a 4/4 with vigilance, or you can give something else vigilance and maybe buff its power and gain 4 life. So yeah, it's okay. Next we have Splendor Mare with another unicorn. It's a creature Elk Unicorn. It's a 3/3. It's a 3/3 elk. Wow. And it has cycling, and when it cycles, put up a lifelink counter on target creature you control. This is pretty good. I mean, at instant speed, you can give something lifelink, or you can just play it, and it is a target with lifelink. I could see some mono white decks maybe running this. I don't know if it's definitely the best card to run, but I could see someone trying to pull it off. We have a Heartless Act. It's a 2-cost instant. It says destroy target creature with no counters on it, which this set is going to introduce a lot of creatures that have counters, so it's going to be kind of weak against their own set. But it does cost 1 less than murder, and it says remove up to 3 counters from target creature, so it's good against fighting counter decks. It can kill Hydras, even if they have counters, if they're like a 3/3 Hydra. Pretty good card. I could actually see this seeing play maybe in sideboards, instead of actually in main decks. We have Weaponized Monsters. It's a 1-cost red enchantment. You can pay 2 and sacrifice a creature, and it deals 2 damage to any target. So it basically just lets you, say the board is stalling out, you can't do anything, someone's about to murder your creature, actually, it's going to hit someone. So, pretty good card. If you're trying to win with creatures, it might be a nice little backup plan. It could also be a interesting card in mono red. It's very low costed, and it lets you, even if you're stalling, just take your creatures and start chucking them at your enemies. So Pretty powerful. We have Magma Charger. It's a 4-cost creature dinosaur, and when it attacks, if it doesn't have first strike, put a first strike counter on it, and then when it attacks, if it has first strike, it gains double strike. So it kind of ramps up. So first time you attack with it, it's a 3/3 first striker. Then the next time it's a 3/3 double striker. So it's kind of like gaining speed there. But if you can give it first strike, for instance, or put a first strike counter on it somewhere else, it can be a double striker a lot faster. This feels like a very big limited bomb. If you can mutate this and put another creature on top of it that maybe has hexproof or something, it seems very interesting. Reptilian Mirroring. It's a 3-cost enchantment, and it says whenever you cycle a card, you may have it become a 5/4 dinosaur with trample and haste in addition to its other types until end of turn. So it's an enchantment that can't be targeted by creature removal, but you can then activate it to turn into a creature, and then it can be targeted by creature removal. And it's a 5/4 for 3. I could totally see certain decks running this, so not terrible. We have Essence Symbiont. It's a 2-cost green creature beast for 2/2. Whenever a creature you control mutates, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature and you gain 2 life. So this definitely runs in a mutate deck. It doesn't have to be the thing mutating, as long as the translation is correct. So not bad. You can just kind of have this on the field and you can use it to gain life and put counters on things. And we have a Hornbash Mentor. It's a 3-cost creature, human warrior, 3/3, and whenever it enters the battlefield, put a trample counter on target non-human you control. Trample seems to be a theme of this set. We see lots of things that are caring about trample, putting trample on things, so this is probably going to be really good and limited. And then you can pay 3 and tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, trample. Again, seeing more examples of how trample is a theme. Then we have Parcel Beast. It's a 4-cost, 2/4, or you can mutate it for 2, and then it gives the creature basically this ability, pay 1, tap it, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, put it into your hand. So this is a very Risen Reef effect. Basically, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you can put it on the field. But if you don't want to, if you want to draw the land, or if it's not a land card, you can put it in your hand. So this is pretty much Risen Reef text, except you have to pay an activation cost, which definitely controls it. It does let it mutate it onto other creatures, so there's probably some gimmicky little infinite combo you can do there, where drawing a card to untap a creature or something. Probably not that crazy, but something crazy could probably be done with this. Next, we have Alert Heedbonder. It's a 3-cost creature human scout with vigilance. It says at the beginning of your end step, you gain 1 life for each creature you control with vigilance. So again, we're seeing vigilance tribal. We've also seen menace tribal. So in a way, they're kind of just taking keyword counters and then making them menace tribal, flying tribal, which we already have a lot of, so I hope there's not that much in this set. So we've only seen like half of the set so far, so it's kind of interesting, at least if the number on Mystic Spoilers is correct. We have Joyous Skybonder. It's a 3-cost creature, human wizard. Creatures you control with flying. Literally just said, hope there's not any flying tribal seconds ago. Spells your opponent cast cost 2 more to cast this, to target this, whatever. You know what I mean. So this pretty much just protects all your flyers, makes them harder to kill. Oh, you have a 3-cost removal spell, now it's a 5-cost. Very good card. Even such, this is a 2/2. I assume this has flying. It doesn't say it has flying, but it may be worth it just to play this on its own, but we'll have to see. We have the Oozolith, which is one of my favorite cards. It's a 1-cost legendary artifact, and whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Oozolith. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if the Oozolith has counters on it, you may move all counters from it onto target creature. So let's say you have one big creature, and it has flying and trampled counters on it. It dies. Now the Oozolith has flying and trampled counters. Now at the beginning of the next combat, you can give flying and trample to another creature. Now, let me tell you one problem I have with the set. Both mutate and ability counters are kind of just throwing all your eggs in one basket. You are putting all your counters on one creature, or you're combining multiple cards with mutate into one, or you're taking a card and putting something on another creature. Now, if that creature dies, you lose both the tokens, or the counters, and you are losing the creature. So though you're being 2 for 1, and this basically says, hey, I know I'm going to lose the creature, but I can save the counters. So this is a very fun card. You can also use it to manipulate counters a little bit. It's very interesting. We have Fight as 1, which was our first card, which means we've looped back in a circle. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please let me know what you're thinking of the set so far in the comments down below. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.